parents, I think we have to appreciate the fact that all parents are trying to do their best. And once we understand that, regardless of what we think they're doing right or wrong, we have to understand their family culture. So I think I tend to have more one-to-one conversations with families to engage them, to understand them. So giving a specific example here, I had a Japanese-Russian family. The mother had 2 children, and she was working full-time. Father was working full-time, barely there. And her first child, Irina, was basically all over the place academically. She did not have the language skills. She had no self-discipline. Lovely child, beautiful heart, but at the same time, just did not know how to apply herself constructively. Now, the best part is I met Irina when she was about 8. So that's a good time to actually have that discussion at home and say, where's the structure at home? Why isn't there any consequences? What's going on there? Her mother was very open-minded and was able to share what was going on at home, because of her schedule, because of her timing and the helper. There wasn't, a way to keep a structure. I said, well, that's affecting the child. Because at school, she can barely focus for more than 10 minutes. And she's 8. So why is that happening? So let's work together. Let's create a schedule together. Let's, do an award system for Irina. Let's create that environment for her where she's thriving. So again, the mom was open about it and followed through and through a lot of coaching with the parents too. And then coaching Irina along the way. And that helped build Irina's confidence, parents' confidence, my confidence as a teacher, and to see that growth, because she made amazing growth. She's intelligent, but she didn't have the structure to help her grow. Yeah. So, of course, I've had parents who are in denial if and when their child needs help. And that's tricky. That is tricky. And oftentimes, you need administrative help to help you pass that message through, suggesting educational psychologists to come in to evaluate the child, suggesting different strategies at home. I had one mom who absolutely refused to acknowledge that her 7-year-old child had attention deficiency. I had actually videotaped the child, documented the child's day over 3 days. And so that's quite tough as a teacher, because how do you videotape while you're still teaching? So I got some help on that. But after that, it was like, do you see how other children are sitting down and trying to work? Your child is hiding under the table and running sprints while the class is in session. Do you find that strange? This is what we are recognizing. This is what the strategies we're using. Is there something you use that we haven't used? What's going on? And it was after a lot of consultations did she come to a point where she's like, okay, let's get some, testing done. And through the testing, he was then diagnosed. And mom was giving very clear instructions about the food that he was supposed to eat, about the structure he was to follow, about following through with tasks, whether it was making his bed, whether it was, cleaning up his room. So he actually learned how to almost become more responsible for his actions, even as a 7-year-old child. I had a child last year, ADHD, diagnosed with ADHD. And parents refused, downright refused to have him on any medication. And basically this 10 and a half year old child is bouncing up and down for the whole day. How do I get any work done with him? So it ended up him being right by my side, and I would give him 10-minute timers. I said, in 10 minutes, I need you to do 1, 2, 3. Now you have two choices. You could either sit here, and remember they're 10 and a half, so you have to give some leeway. So either you can sit here, or you can do it in the corner by yourself, and it's going to be done in 10 minutes. And this is while taking care of the rest of the class, right? So he went off and he did it, and then he'd come back, and I said, right, 10 minutes done, show me what you've done. I've just done one. I said, fabulous. Great, you've done one. Let's have a look. Oh, it's great. Okay, good. See, you can do that in 10 minutes. I bet you can do the rest, those 2 right here by my side. You know, so it was constant monitoring, you know. And at the end of the year, he was on a behavioral chart as well. You know, we had an honest discussion, and I said, he's heading up to middle school, which is a whole different ballgame, because you have to move from classes to class and you have to be super organized. In primary school, okay, the teacher will help you stay organized, and your friends are, you know, it's a small cohort of students that they will help you. But in middle school, you're pretty much on your own. That's where that responsibility kicks in truly. I said, I hope you've got some strategies to help them. You know, whether it is that checklist every day in the morning or every day in the night, or whether it is, you know, that a lunchbox checklist. Have I done this? Have I done that? Have I done that? Because otherwise, we're not serving the child. We're actually not helping him succeed, you know. And the parents heard me loud and clear. It was quite direct. We'll see.